That should be super easy.
It's okay, but
Do you hear her scratching?
Mm-hmm.
She scratches like this, like a girl.
She scratches like a girl.
Well, yeah,
everybody, we're live.
like she scratches like this.
Shh.
Like all light, like yeah.
Everybody, we're live, I heard.
Yes, sir, we're live.
Good evening, Mr. Capel.
Bienvenidos. Buenas noches, Mr. Senor Sinclair.
Gracias, señor. Gracias.
Well, Hispanic month here, folks. So
Yep. Oh, I gotta scoot over. God dang it. Chingao.
Perfect.
Is that good?
wait a minute, this is Indigenous people. This is Indigenous People Month, not Hispanic month.
Yes.
You speak Indigenous?
Unfortunately, I do not. I know a few cuss words, but it's not for this channel.
Not for this channel. Okay, well, so much for our Indigenous tribute. We're not going to be doing that tonight. What do you think? We're going to let some folks join us here?
Yeah, yeah. Hope everybody's enjoying the weather change. Hope it ain't a shock to anybody's body down here in the Great South, but
Yeah. It got down to 40 degrees last night.
I didn't know what to think this morning. I had to put a jacket on.
Yeah.
I still ran the AC, keep that boy awake of mine.
He's from Maine. He can do that sort of thing. So, well, let's see. We need to talk about dogs, don't we?
Yes, sir.
But your mic needs help.
My
Yours
mic?
is good, but yours needs help. That's what they said.
Can you hear him?
Test. What's it doing there on the graph?
Here, let me turn it up. Okay. You talk.
Hello?
Hello. Huh.
You're a little bit quieter.
I got it right in my throat, that's why.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Scott, you talk?
Huh?
Talk.
Say it again.
No, his is good. His is not.
But yours
Right
is
now.
not. I don't have a graph under yours.
Talk again.
Now.
Yours isn't working, Butch.
Get it one time.
Is your graph showing both of them go, Carol?
You're muted.
Oh, it's not.
You're muted.
Okay.
Just hit the button. I think it's the white one once.
Now?
Yes, you're good. Now the graph.
Yeah,
is
there you go.
Okay, there we
okay,
go.
now.
Thank you, whoever said that.
It was Carolyn with the Colt.
Hey, Carolyn, thank you, ma'am. So now we're good to go.
Now we can go.
Yep,
We got good sound folks working for us, helping us here.
trying.
So let's see. What are we gonna do? Let's talk about training.
Yeah. Talk about some dog training.
How about the best training system in the world that nobody knows about anymore? It used to be the only way it was done, but
Okay.
that would be, well, there's lots of different kind of training systems, right?
Yes.
One of the ones I'm sure no one's heard of that's around in the last 15 or 20 years training dogs, to give you an idea of how many different kinds of ideas that there are. There was a guy back, I don't know, 100, 112 years ago. I bought his book, and it was, he supposedly trained New York police dogs, but everybody claims they train police dogs, so I don't know, but he had a book published, so somebody believed him.
Right.
And his form of training was really, really simple. He would, but you have to do it, you have to start with puppies. He'd start with German Shepherd pups, and whenever one of them laid down, he'd say down. He'd start walking somewhere, and one of them would sit and watch him walk away, and he'd go, stay. If they went to sit, they'd sit. Later, because he claimed he was training, police dogs, to get, now all you folks who are doing, all you folks who are doing protection dogs, you're gonna love this one. To get a dog, because he said in his book, he could train a dog to attack, and he needed no equipment. And what he did was he would take, I think it was either the little bone from a wing, or maybe it was a drumstick. But I think it's that little part of chicken wing it's kind of lot shaped like a drumstick, and he'd hold it between his fingers, and he'd go attack, and they'd bite at the
Chicken wing. Huh.
And he, he swore that these dogs would go and do real full-fledged protection training. But that's actually, I discovered, that's what I call incidental training. He didn't have a name for his system, but later on, and I've actually discovered people in other countries who train really advanced things like stock dogs, sort of by letting pups go out, wander around some animals, and if they go to the left, they'd say gee, and if they go to the right, they'd say haw, or whatever terms you're going to use. So dogs too can learn that way. The only downside that I saw to that system was it takes about a year and a half for the pup to get efficient at it. So that's one training system. And of course, we're all familiar with the all positive. On YouTube, these trainers are always arguing back and forth about all positive. Now,
positive reinforcement, 100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Don't do nothing else. Don't ever say nothing but good dog. And then you have the, if you got the all positive, you also got what I like to jokingly refer to as the all ouch, system, which is do it or do it, and these are all systems and techniques that have worked, obviously, or people wouldn't still be doing them, you'd think. But none of them have anything to do with the best training system ever done. And it's still being used today around the world. There's not a continent on the earth that this system is not used in. It's used by dingoes in Australia, timber wolves in Canada, hyenas in Africa, street dogs in Chicago. Any idea what I'm talking about, Scott?
The natural play drive.
What was the word in front of drive?
Play.
Play.
Yes, sir.
Think about it. And a lot of what I figured out about dogs came from watching mother dogs with their pups and how they communicate and how they discipline. And mama dogs will agree with all you folks who say all positive does not work. If anyone thinks all positive is what works, go watch a mama dog correct her puppies when they did something wrong.
Yeah. When we get a switch and get your ass.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, Scott's mama got a switch after him. Mama dog gets her teeth after those pups. Pup goes back and just squirts pee in the air. He's so scared.
Yep.
So in nature, there's definitely not an all positive training system. What there is in nature is a play system. Think about it. To get good at anything, there's two things you need. You got to pay attention, and you got to practice, right? So if your litter mates are having a great game, you're going to want to jump in and play with the game. And if the game is stalking each other, learning to hunt, you're learning to hunt. And if it's really fun when you grab your litter mate and throw him down the hill, you're going to want to do it again and again and again. So the play gets the pup's attention, and it makes them want to repeat it. And it does something else more important. It brings enthusiasm.
And so it's like a stimuli.
Yeah.
Because when dogs play, their serotonin and their endorphins go through the roof. So it's a chemical reaction also, but it triggers the natural drive. But like you're saying, playing is training. So I'm trying to jump the gun here, but if you play and train at the same time while playing, it's all play, right?
What a concept, Mr. Sinclair. I like that.
I just came up with
Connection.
Oh, no.
I hope it's working again. Hold on. Troy, can you tell me if we're on again? We're back.
We're back.
Thank you,
Okay.
Troy. Thank you,
all
Rick.
right.
Rick, he said we're back. Okay.
Thank you, folks. We got a brand new camera we're investing in for next week, so hopefully we won't have these little problems anymore. So, but anyway, Scott just figured it out there.
Yep.
Say it again. He can't say it again because he just thought of it that quick.
I just thought of it that quick, yeah.
Yeah. If
So basically, play gets the endorphins and the serotonin going, and they like it. Now, if you incorporate training while you're playing becomes training, and everything's a game, especially for like pups and smaller, really any dog, honestly.
right.
Until you get to that, then you can take that truck and drive it wherever you want to go with it.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. And literally, it's like Scott says, because they're such good associative learners. If you're training while your pup's playing, then, whoa. Speaking of playing,
Sorry.
whoa.
Sorry.
If you're, if you got Agent Butters,
My bad.
swing over and see what she's got there. Oh my goodness. Yeehaw.
Project.
Project.
Sorry.
She's still out there working. So because they're associative, when you say sit and then throw a ball, pretty soon sit becomes as much fun as chasing the ball. Simple as that. If you just put it earlier a little bit, you go on. One of the big things is two things that are people are always asking about. I want my dog to respond off leash, and for all the all outs trainers who hate food, how do I wean my dog off of treats? Right?
Just said it twice.
There you go.
And, and just play, and every dog's different. Some dogs like tugs, some like balls, some like ropes. You find what's good for your dog to play with, and that's not every dog wants to bite a rope. This is probably pretty ground level stuff, but you can incorporate that game, bouncing those balls for an out, or you're doing this or that and the other for a sit. So some dogs like sleeves. That's fun for them, but.
Yeah.
And whatever it is.
And it's like Scott said, you actually have a physical hormonal response when they're getting a reward. If we're training a bomb dog, or if the people who train bomb dogs, if you meet somebody who's going to sell you a bomb dog that's been trained with treats, you need to turn around and run. Mm-hmm. You don't need a bomb dog who's been given treats as a reward. I mean, think about it. Say they're giving him hot dogs as treats. Well, he's going to sniff, and when he finds that gunpowder, I want you to give him a hot dog. So now you get this dog, and you're contracted to go check out the Cowboy Stadium before the big football game, and your dog's running around sniffing, looking for bombs, and all of a sudden he smells the concession stand. And about the time he hits the concession stand with you and trailing and looking like, and you hear the boom go off over here, right? Don't train bomb dogs with food rewards, folks. Don't do that. So what we also discovered when we discovered the fallacy of using food as a reward for advanced training is that they work harder for their game than they work for food. They not only work harder for it, they work longer for it because they're having a blast. And like Scott said, you get all the hormones,
serotonin and the endorphins.
And serotonin and endorphins are kicking in while they're playing this game.
Adrenaline, basically.
Yeah. So when you're using play, like a mama dog does, like a mama tiger does, you're going to have a dog whose enthusiasm for your commands knows no bounds. Now, when they're that excited about your commands, you don't have to worry about them ignoring you when they're off running around playing. They're going to respond. So there's the first beauty of play. The biggest problem we've got is no one's ever shown people how to use play. We know how to use food. A lot of people think they know how to use food, and we know how to use electric collars, and we know how to use prong collars, and all kinds of gadgets. But no one's ever shown us how to use play, and that's all animals, all mammals across the board. That's how they learn to survive, is through play. If you have children and your school board is trying to cut out recess time, tell them to look up this podcast, because your children learn a lot on the playground about interaction with other kids and controlling their emotions and controlling their excitement. Play is the most universal taught system for survival
Yep.
among mammals in the world. Period. So, how do we put play into a form that people can understand for training? Because you can train everything you want in a dog with play. Search and rescue. You want to do a search and rescue dog? Get your pup while he's young. Go out someplace with some trees or places to hide. Take his favorite person and have them run off and hide somewhere with the ball. Bounce the ball front if your dog likes the ball. If he likes a tug, show him the tug. Whatever. Show him his favorite toy and let him know he's going to get to play. And then have that person, his favorite person, hopefully, run off and hide behind a building or a tree or a couch or a car or just somewhere out of sight.
With the toy.
Huh?
With the toy.
With the toy. Yep. Make sure your dog, thank you. Make sure the dog sees that person running away with the toy.
Yep.
And then turn the dog loose and say, ball, fetch, whatever, tug. And you watch, he's going to make a beeline straight for that person who's hiding. Okay?
Boom.
Boom. Give him this toy, play with it. Okay? Next thing, after 2 or 3 times, have that person run to that same place and hide. And when the dog's not looking, have him walk a little further downwind. And the dog's going to run back to that same spot. And then he's going to, uh-oh, where's my toy? Where's my toy? And then he's going to stick his nose in the wind. He's going to get a sniff of that person. He's going to go right to him, and they're going to throw that. There's nothing that you want your dog to do that you can't teach him in a playing format. You just got to sit and kind of think it out. If you find out what they really, really like, and then incorporate that into bite work. You know, you just got to play tug of war, but put a command in front of it so that when they hear this word, alert, sick 'em, watch 'em, pockin', whatever it's going to be, they understand they're fixing to play a bite game. And then pretty soon you don't have the sack, you have an arm. So everything can be taught with play.
Okay. Now, this is going to be not a contradictory, but what if you have a dog that is food driven, crazy food driven? I mean, you can make that dog jump to the moon if you have food.
Right.
You break him? Can you break him? But he's got a game he likes too. So do you? Question for you. You know the dog do anything with food, anything. He'll do anything. He'll roll over. He'll shake your hand. He'll sign your checks, whatever. Right. But he has a toy too. How do you wean off the food to the toy? Do you really enhance that one toy? His favorite thing is what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I'm just asking the question.
Yeah. And that's how you. That's a great question. So that's also how you start teaching your dog. That's how you wean them off the food and still make them want to follow all your commands and make them want to follow with even more enthusiasm. So there's lots of gimmicks you can use. You can play the toy out and play with them before a meal. So you play fetch or tug, whatever, and then when they've done really good doing that, you call them and you say front, and when they come and sit, you give them their meal. So they're going to get more, and this is scientific. We know for a fact they put MRIs, blood pressure monitors, heart rate, and all that stuff on dogs. And we know that dogs' physical excitement, blood pressure, and all this stuff will rise when they smell food. But they get just as excited over the owner's hands touching them. They get more excited over a ball to chase. So that's our highest excitement level.
Chasing a rabbit.
Yeah. And what do you get when you get, so the popular belief for years, and still is, I think, among the most bird dog trainers especially, is repetition, repetition, repetition. I know one bird dog trainer who says a dog has to do something 100 times in a row before he learns it. And to which I could only reply, my dog's got to do it 100 times in a row before he can figure it out. I ain't feeding that dumb sucker. I'm sorry. That's stupid. But with enthusiasm, you don't need but 3 or 4 tries and they have it down, because enthusiasm will beat repetition every time. So you get this enthusiasm comes from playing. They're more enthusiastic about their toy, their game, their fun than they are about food. And the downside to food treat training is, after so many pieces of whatever treat, excitement begins to drop.
It becomes an expectation.
Yeah, yeah. But all you folks, especially the mal owners and herding dog owners, know you can throw that ball for. They'll try as hard an hour from now when their tongue's dragging on the ground as it did in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So if you incorporate your commands with your play, think of it two sides of it. First, you're going to teach them. You can use the food to teach them. Sit, raise it up, make them look like this, and then start saying, sit, throw the ball, throw them the tug, whatever trips their trigger. If you start moving them away from the food and to their game, pretty soon that command is going to be as much fun as the game they were playing to get when they did the right command, right?
Well, absolutely. And I believe that you can train dogs without food, just play.
Mm-hmm. You can.
It's a whole different concept.
Right.
I mean, business is business, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got to move dogs along, get them ready, then you transition. But that's a problem. We got a project.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, from ground zero.
Yep.
All toys,
Yep.
all play.
Yep. That's why when I first went to my first few AKC shows and tried to, I was training by the book, and they said it'll take you about 6 months to get a dog knowing all his commands and being proficient and going to the show ring. And now we do it in 2 weeks.
But the only reason I'm saying that is because in nature, there's no one saying, here's your treat.
Oh, good point.
It's all play. Mm-hmm. Now, part of the play in turn turns into the hunting instinct to feed yourself, because you're actually training and playing.
Right, good point, yeah.
If you want to eat, you better play.
Yep.
Because you don't play, you ain't gonna eat.
You don't eat, yeah.
I'm just, that's a general mm-hmm. term or general statement, but, it just, because everything traces back to wild dogs, coyotes, and
right.
foxes, and,
right.
Wolves, because they're the originators. And if you look back to what the animals of nature do and translate it back to domesticated animals, they're still strains. It's still the same. I know they've been bred and trained, but they're still dogs.
That's right.
They're still cats. They're still, lion's a cat.
They have the same want-tos, the same brain capacity, whatever. So.
The dingo's a dingo, though.
What?
The dingo's a dingo.
A dingo's yeah. So, anyway, start incorporating some play into your training to get more proficiency and efficiency out of your dog, to wean them off those treats, to get them wanting to work for you, and then see what that does. I'm gonna give a nod. Hey, Agent Butters, you awake?
My tooth hurts so bad right now.
Uh-oh. Butters got a toothache.
Too much damn Halloween candy.
Yep. What was you chewing on this week?
No, I haven't been eating candy because I know my tooth has been all messed up.
Milky Ways.
Yeah, Halloween, trick or treat. Trick or treat. So,
you don't? Okay.
Well, she spent her second year at the Old Dominion Training Search and Rescue place, which does such really the top, I guess, search and rescue folks in this country. We were going to talk about that, but she got a toothache. She says it's just a toothache. We know she ate about 14 pounds of Milky Way bars. No one was looking. She keeps telling us she doesn't eat chocolate, but we can't keep any around here. So it's going somewhere.
We have to wean you up. We have to wean you off that candy.
Yeah.
More play.
She eats the chocolate. I eat chocolate.
Now they're pointing fingers at each other now.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe next week we can talk about some search and rescue. Anybody got some ideas? Let us know.
Yeah.
We'll be glad to approach any topic or subject you want. And for now, we're going to let Agent Butters go brush her teeth. You got a peanut hung right there.
A peanut. Little caramel in your cheek there, girl.
So,
all right, everyone.
Hope this is helpful. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
Thank you.
Who's Marino Ken Corso? He said hey.
Who? Marino?
Ken
Hey, Marino. How you doing, bud?
Sorry, he said hey a minute ago. Who?
Anybody else?
Second Wind chimed in. Caroline chimed
We got a few
in.
minutes.
Rick Dunn chimed in. We were just talking amongst ourselves, basically.
All right.
Good.
That's good.
That's our best ones.
Yeah.
What you got, Carol?
Nothing.
Okay.
I thought I had something on there, but no.
Bye.
Just going live.
Yes. But I did ask Troy to give us a call about the JVC.
Thank you.
Order.
Thank
so
you.
Troy, call Butch, please, and ask for Carol Ann.
Okay, you know you're still on that live, right?
Yes. We're gonna cut it off.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to